Hello, welcome back to Lydia's Plate. Today I'm making sweet and sour chicken and hash brown casserole. My home-cut chicken breasts were still a little frozen together, but that's okay, they'll be ready soon enough. So it's super simple. It's just a 1/4 cup of brown sugar, and I'll put the recipe in the description box below so you don't have to try to keep up with writing this down if you don't have time. A 1/4 cup of onion soup base, 1/2 cup of ketchup, and a 1/4 cup of water. Now that just gets all whisked together and poured over all the chicken pieces. Cover that with foil, shiny side down, and we'll set it aside and get working on the hash brown casserole. Some recipe books also call this Texas potatoes, and oh boy, I forget all the other names I've heard for it, but this recipe has multiple different names. The original recipe calls for a 2-pound bag of hash browns frozen from the store. I don't have that, so I'm just cubing up my own potatoes here. Alrighty, we are almost done, and it looks like I don't need that last potato, so I'm going to clean up my workstation and get out the rest of the ingredients to get this mixed up. To these cubed potatoes, we are adding 2 cups of sour cream, 1 tin of cream of mushroom soup. The original recipe calls for cream of chicken, some salt, some pepper, and some shredded cheese. Today I am using mozzarella. That's all done, so now we're going to mix up the last step to this dish. I'm going to melt a little bit of butter here, about a quarter cup, and then I will be using bran flakes. The original recipe calls for corn flakes, but again, I don't have corn flakes. I've been using bran flakes for several years now. I like the flavor. If that would be an issue, definitely stick with corn flakes, but we don't mind. Nobody here complains. The only time I get a comment is if I don't put enough of the flakes on top, then they ask for more crunchy topping. I also don't measure my bran flakes because I have found that when I follow the recipe, it's still too runny with butter for me, so I prefer it a little bit thicker. So I just pour in enough bran flakes until I think it's the consistency that I want. There we go, it is 4 o'clock as you can see, and I'm going to put that in there. It'll probably take about an hour and a half for those potatoes to get done, so we'll be back to check on them in an hour. In the meantime, before I can run outside back to the garden, I need to get the dishwasher cleaned out so that I can clean out my sink of all these dirty dishes. I'm going to quickly get that done and then I can get back out to the garden. It's 5 o'clock. It's looking good in there, but I'm not done outside, and I don't think the potatoes were all the way soft yet. I did poke them a little bit with my spoon, and I don't think they're all the way done yet. Still a little bit too crispy for my taste. So I want to keep working outside anyways, so I'm going to let them go for another half an hour, and then I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. It is about 5:30. And it is looking good. They're soft. Chicken looks delicious. It's nice and soft as well, moist and flavorful. And I'm just going to make my plate here. We're also having leftover corn from earlier this week. I had opened up a big package that had, I think, 3 or 4 cups of corn in there. So we're just having leftover corn together with the rest of this meal. Okay, and now that supper is done, we can get all the rest of those dishes in here, and then the dishwasher will be full and ready to run. One little tip I have for you to keep your appliances cleaner, or at least your dishwasher, is that after I have loaded my dishwasher, I will press the start button with the back of one of my knuckles so that I'm not getting all the junk that's on my hands from putting the dishes into the dishwasher all over the buttons on my dishwasher. So that's just a little trick that I use in order to keep my dishwasher buttons cleaner. So there we go, guys. That is it. I'm gonna wipe the table yet, but this is done. So thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you haven't yet, and press that little bell if you want to be notified every time we post a new video. If you have any questions or comments, I will answer them as quickly as I can to the best of my ability if you just leave them in the comments section down below. And I hope you've enjoyed this and have gotten another idea of what to put on your plate. Bye!